am a happy-go-lucky person. I don't let things bother me. I look for things to make me happy. I am a person who loves challenges because I think it makes my blood flow very fast and smoothly. I'm also a home girl. I like to spend a lot of my time at home. I like to watch television. I like to read novels. I like to always go on the net. I like my own company most times. And I think basically that's who I am. Oh yeah, I have a love of my life. Whether I'm the love of his life now, I don't know. But I have a love of my life. My husband is the love of my life. His name is Norbert. He's my friend, and that's the most important thing. We are friends. We quarrel a lot as friends. We argue a lot. We argue about everything. We don't just argue about home. In fact, home stuff, we don't argue. He just says whatever you want. And that's the way it works. I won't lie to you. Let me be the one who handled the home. And then, let me handle the home, and then let's handle everything else together. And so we quarrel and argue about what's happening in politics. For instance, he was APC, and then he was saying that I'm PDP and all of that. We will quarrel seriously about it until he puts his foot down. Yes, that's the love of my life. I think he completes me. I think he it's not just because he's my husband, but because we complete each other's thoughts most times, and we understand ourselves a whole lot. I think basically that's it. First kiss. I don't remember. I have to really go and think about it too. I don't remember my first kiss. I grew up abroad, so yes, I used to have crushes. Crushes. If you ask me their names now, I don't remember. I don't remember. So yes, you would see one handsome guy passing by, and every day you always wait for him to pass that particular spot, and you'd be like, oh my God, that kind of thing. Yes, I did have crushes. I don't remember them. I don't think I'm weird though, so I guess it's 1%, because I think I'm normal. Because I think I'm boring. Okay, is it weird if I like okra and rice? So I'm not weird. It came from left field though, you won't believe it. I didn't even know I was in love until I realized that whenever this person wasn't around me, something was missing. That was when I realized that, oh, this must be the love. I used to look, in those days we used to read all this Mills and Boone and, Barbara Cartland, that was it. Barbara Cartland especially, and Mills and Boone, and they will tell you that love is, those butterflies and roses. And it's not that in the African situation, no. It's definitely not that. If you're waiting for the man to give you roses, you go wait tired. And even you as an African girl, if they give you roses, you'll be like, wait, I will take this one too, So, no, love wasn't that. And that was all I was actually expecting that. I was expecting to be taking out candlelight dinner and all of that. But somehow, I realized that when this person is not around, I talk about this person a lot. I'm thinking about this person a lot. And when we started, myself and my husband, there was no GSM. That you could just call call somebody immediately and say, hey, I'm missing you, that kind of thing. What are you doing? And all of that. And so we tried as much as possible to spend time with each other as much as our work permitted. And then when GSM came, we got all the networks possible because, in those days, they said this network is not in this area. The network that is on this area, we will get it. Mention it, Starcoms, Econet, all the names they used to have in those days. Oh, we had one SIM card for each person. Now, if you check it, you see that one person's number is different from the other. It's just one number that's different. That's how we used to go along. Visa phone, oh, we had it. Starcoms, we had all of them. And even when we got married, it continued like that, And then I realized that, okay, yes, it has a lot to do with love. I would call when I had a question, when I had something important. I would call this person I love so much, because it's not that I couldn't make that decision, but I needed somebody to say, yes, you're right, or no, you're wrong, and that's the only way it would work out. And I discovered that it's the same thing for him, and then I used to not tell people that, but he tells people that. He says, okay, you see this decision you want me to make, let me call my wife first. I've heard him say that, and I get embarrassed about it, but he doesn't care. He doesn't care. I've kissed. Is revulsion a good feeling? I've felt revulsion for one or two people who have kissed. I can't mention names. And then other cases, I didn't feel anything. It was just a kiss. And I remember this movie I did with Ramsey Noah. And Ramsey had to kiss me, and it took a long while that day for Ramsey to kiss me. I think he felt embarrassed that he had to kiss me for some reason. I didn't know as at that time that he was having problems with having to kiss me and all of that, So I remember telling Norbert when we got home, I see how long it took Ramsey to kiss me self now. What for this? They kiss woman before. That kind of thing, because we talk like that. So luckily one day, they were showing it on TV. And then Norbert said, Anna, it's because of the way you went about it now. Some people think that you must kiss when you're on television. And then we now started discussing TV kiss and all of that. Yes, your lips must touch, but your lips must close. They mustn't open, all that kind of thing. And maybe Ramsey's used to kissing with his mouth open, and then he didn't know how to kiss me, Gloria, as a married woman, or that kind of, But I didn't feel anything. I didn't expect to feel anything anyway. But there was a kiss that I felt didn't want to repeat it, and I just got the work done that day, and that was it. I have a daughter that likes junk food, more or less. So you find a lot of chips and biscuits, and I try to give her variations of that so she doesn't fall into eating just anything outside. They have to be a certain class. So you'll find conflicts, you'll find, all those kinds of things. You will rarely find cooked food in my fridge. Rarely. In the freezer, deep freezer, yes, one or two, but very few. Even in that deep freezer, I actually have things like cut up chips, because that's the kind of thing she likes to eat. Just throw it in the fryer, fry quickly, and give her to eat. Yes. Yeah. So those are the kind of things you will see. Somebody said that they will take their marriage certificate, and I said, don't they have photocopy? Can't they get copies from? Can't they get the copy from the local government or something? Is it impossible to get that? And then people say passport, and they say those kind of things. I think the first thing I'll grab is my daughter. And it's happened once. It has actually happened once. She was a baby and pretty small. I think she was about 3 weeks old. And then there was a fire in her bedroom. It started in her bedroom, and the two of us were sleeping. And she was on my chest. And if my husband hadn't walked into the room, God knows what would have happened. So he just walked in and saw the fire and then beat me up awake. So I just grabbed her, and she was really tiny, and I put her inside my shirt, and I ran outside, and that's all I took. I didn't remember anything else. So I think that's basically all I'll take. That's all I'll take. Antonia Young. That's the base. That's the most motivation. She has to get to school, and then Saturday morning she comes to wake me up. And then the days when I'm at work, is work that makes me get up. Prayer. I found out that people expect God to give you an answer by tapping you, Gloria, 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 this is the answer. No, it doesn't come like that. When I find myself in difficult situations, you know what I'm praying for? Give me strength, Lord. Give me strength. Show me what I'm to do in this situation. Or, let me give you an example. I told you I'm the first child, and then sometimes I get called upon by my father, my parents, and they say, so thing is happening. We want to hear from you and all of that. And maybe at that particular moment, I don't know what to say. And you know, being the first child, and you have to make sure that you satisfy everybody. You don't go and say the wrong thing that will affect, you know. And you know, the first thing I say, once they're talking, my father first starts with a preamble. He will give you an intro of what's going on. So the time he's giving me that intro, which can be like from one chapter to like 10 chapters. So while he's busy doing all that talking, you know what's happening in my head? Show me the right words to say, Lord. Put the words in my mouth, Lord. Or I just say that short prayer. God be in my mouth and in my speaking. God be in my mouth and in my speaking. And it helps a whole lot. And then when I'm done, you know the first thing that my father says, my daughter, you have so much wisdom. And then I say, thank you, Jesus. It works. That's the only thing I have seen that has worked for me. Everything else is a lie. Before I get on stage, especially stage performances, I'm done with everything, all the rehearsals and all of that. Yes, I do my normal daily prayer and all that. But that minute I'm about to get on stage, I say a short prayer. It works for me. Everything I do, I just give it up to him. I give it up to God and I say, give me the strength, Lord. I'm not saying, God, remove this problem. Because I know we all have to carry our own crosses somehow. And every challenge is more or less like a cross. And I have to find a way to surmount it. And I just say, show me the right way to go about it. I don't say remove it, because I know that he already knows it's going to be there, you know. But how I go about it is up to him. I just say, show me the way, Lord. And it's worked. Trust. I hate the fact that I've trusted a few friends and they've broken my trust, because I'm a very loyal person. I could be loyal to a fault. I could fight for anybody I believed in, no matter what. Because I'm the kind of person who, you know, I keep saying live and let live. Everybody cannot be the same. We all have different characters in our makeup. And if I say that this person is my friend, I truly believe that this person is my friend, I will fight for him or her anywhere. So I expect the same. And I've gotten disappointed a few times. So I think it has a lot to do with trust. I trust too much. I trust you to be my friend when I'm not there. I trust you to fight for me when I'm not there. And then when I discover, oh, it hurts. It really does. So I think that's my greatest fault. Because even though I have been beaten so many times, I have not been shy. I still trust. I still trust. It's a major fault for me. Writer. I still think about it. I still write. I still do my jotting once in a while. I write stories for my daughter to read. I think that's basically it. I think it is the writing, because for me, if I write and then somebody gets to read it and tells me one or two things, I drop it. That's a challenge. I'm telling you, it's a challenge I have never been able to surmount. So for me, yes. If only I can write and then somebody can say yes, I'll bring it out. But once one person reads it and says, do this, I've dropped it. Because then I feel I'm not good enough. And it's a major problem. I've even gone as far as talking to a publisher. We finalized everything. And then I gave one person to read and they had one or two problems and I've dropped it. I had to talk to myself about that when that happened. I'm actually still trying to ginger myself to, do it, So you see, that's a challenge. And I think that if only I hadn't been an actor, I probably would have been a damn good writer. My greatest fear is rejection. Maybe that's why I still haven't been able to bring out any of the things I've written. And I finish writing and I hide it. I hate anyone to reject what I feel I worked on, because I really take a lot of my time and effort in doing it. And then when I'm told that it's not good enough, in one way or the other, they don't actually come out and say it's not good enough. They'll just say, change this is like this is like that. And I said to myself, why can't it be like this? And then I just feel like, okay, this person is being nice, so that means they won't like it, and I keep it aside. I actually hate being rejected. Because I don't reject people. I don't reject anything anybody does, because that's just the way I am. I believe that you're not like me. Your situation can't be like mine. Your character shouldn't be like mine. And so if I can flow with you, why can't you flow with me? Why must you reject? I think it's a flaw, and it's a fear. I actually hate rejection. Instead of me to feel rejected, I stay away. And that's why, most times you don't get to see me. People just don't see me. Because if I come out and I don't feel as confident as I should, I feel I'm going to be rejected. Oh. And then if you reject me, if I see it, if I feel like I'm being rejected, I walk away, I stay away. Live and let live. Procrastination. Tomorrow. The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar there'll be no sorrow. Come what may. Tomorrow. Everything is tomorrow. That kind of thing. Lies. I hate to be lied to. I would prefer not to be told anything than to be lied to, because I will not lie to you. If I look at you, you ask me a question, and I think you might have a problem with the answer, I would not answer. I'll tell you, can we leave that alone? Or I'll say, I'm sorry, I don't want to answer you. I'll say something to let you know that I don't want to answer you. I will not lie to you. So I hate to be lied to, because once I discover that you lied to me, I won't believe anything else you tell me. Maybe, first of all, let me tell you that nothing really embarrasses me. I don't lie. So many things have happened, and maybe because I'm a happy person, you embarrassed me at that time, and then I forgot about it. So I don't, if I remember my embarrassing moments, not that I don't get embarrassed, but I don't, I try not to keep things that upset me in my head. So I don't remember, because I know that will upset me. So it happened and I let it go. Sad moments, yes, I remember them and I keep them to myself, and then, I always forget, because I'm basically not the kind of person who can get embarrassed easily. It happened. I don't remember. Me? Do I? I don't remember. I don't know. I don't keep those kind of things in my head. No, sorry. Best advice I've ever gotten is my father, who gave it to me. And he gives us one lines, each and every one of his children. And the best one has always been, anything worth doing is worth doing well. But there was this day he built a scenario and he said to me, if you ever find yourself in a position where something you can't handle, don't be in a hurry. Don't rush. Don't panic. Pause. The answer always comes to you. But that's at that moment when you are, you can't think. But if you pause, and do you know it worked? There was a day a friend of mine called me. She was in a panic. You need to do blah, 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 blah. I dropped the phone and I deliberately switched off. An hour or two later, I said, oh, yes, this is what I'm supposed to do. I picked up the phone and I sorted out the problem. And as at that time when she called me panicking, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to sort it out, because it was something I needed. I was the only one who could sort out. But it's really worked. You find yourself in a predicament, you find yourself in a major problem, something that you need to do, pause, think about it. Like K-legs, maybe. That's all now. My K-legs. The fear that there's so much I have to do, and wondering if I would know the right things to do and when to do them has been a major fear for me. And it's kept me up at night. I sit down and I think. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night, I'm like, isn't there something else I'm supposed to be doing? Have I helped people enough? I love to give to charity, for instance. I really do. if you give me the opportunity, I can do it every month. But then sometimes I gather people and we go together. And sometimes I just want to keep giving. And then I say, these days people do this giving and they turn it into a political thing, trying to make a statement here. And all I just want to do is help. How can I help? Is there a particular way I can help that shows that I just want to help? Or will my help be misconstrued? All of that. I get those feelings, at night especially. Children who fall ill for nothing. How can a child have cancer? Then you say, God, where are you? Okay, this child didn't ask to be born. This child didn't do anything to get this cancer. How can this child have cancer? I was driving by one of these roads and I saw, I don't think this girl was up to 6. She had a big old huge swelling on her face, and there they were begging for money. I took a look at this child and I said, they say cancer, it has a lot to do with your cells in your body, the environment, or what you eat. So what could have caused this little child's cancer? I actually was shedding tears. I was in hold up and I was shedding tears. I thought about it and I said, this is just injustice. I hate injustice. Basically, that's it. Yeah, in school. I did in school. I danced in the rain. I cried in the rain. Yeah, in school. Wildest imagination. I have a very strong imagination. You can't tell me a joke without me imagining it. I'll probably be the only one laughing the loudest because I've imagined it. People who tell me jokes enjoy the fact that I laugh so hard because as you're saying the joke and describing the people, I'm laughing. So, wild imagination. When I was growing up, I wanted to be like Diana Ross. I guess that's a wild imagination. I used to go sing, it's my house and I live here. Truly. That kind of thing. I don't think I've ever thought about that, really. Nobody. Because all of them have their own challenges. I would go to the motherless babies' homes and just keep giving. I wouldn't care. It's kind of like paying tithe. Don't worry about where the money is going. Don't worry about what they're doing with it, rather. Just give. I would give. Yes. My growing up days was a whole lot of fun. But the surprising thing? Most surprising thing is that I remember my primary school days more than the others. Maybe because I'm getting older. But I actually do remember those, and I enjoyed it better. I remember the songs we used to sing. I remember assembly, all of those. But if you ask me about secondary, I can't, for the life of me. It has a lot to do with age. It's age. An art student. They gave me a script and asked me to go and study lines. I was pretty lazy about those things because I figured that when I know something, I don't bother with it. You understand? So the first day, they called us for rehearsal. I didn't have my lines. Hey, I know it now. Okay, come out and say, I know it. I couldn't bring it out. And so the teacher called my father. Now, here's the memory. I was locked up in my father's room to go and learn my lines. And then 1 hour later, I was called out. And here the cane was. We never used to be caned. So imagine the cane in his hand. Oh yeah, give me the script. I will read this and you answer. I swear, that's the only memory. And then I did so well, and then I forgot about it. I didn't know I was being prepared for something. That is the only memory that sticks in my head till date. If you know how many hours he grilled me that night, nothing else. So TV was switched off. That is, no other person could watch TV. Your teacher did not call me to say you failed. Your teacher didn't call me to say you passed. Your teacher calls me to say that they gave you lines and you refused to learn your lines. How dare you? My father used to speak big English for us in those days. He stood in front of me with the cane. I learned those lines that night. Every single one of them. Worst memory of childhood. I was 10 years old. My mom died when I was much, much younger. And we had someone we used to call our mom. And she was all over us. As at that time, I didn't know I had another mom. I just know that we didn't used to live with our mom. We lived with her until we were about 5, and then we moved back to stay with my dad. So she used to always be with us. She would always come every weekend, or we would go to her. And that was my real mother's senior brother's wife. That's who she is now, you know. She was my mother in every way. She traveled. That period, she was going abroad for the first time. She was going away from us for 2 weeks. I didn't have a mother. I didn't have anybody I could call a mother. I don't remember if there was any particular reason. But one day, I couldn't stop crying. I could not stop crying. I cried and I cried. I remember that was the worst period for me. My dad did everything. Everybody did everything. I couldn't stop the waterworks. I couldn't stop crying. As in, they really knew it was deep. I remember feeling the pain. I was crying. And what was it? I want my mommy. I want my mommy. I pray never to let my daughter go through that. I don't want her to ever miss her mother to that extent. Because I guess it still affected me till now. Yeah. Because I still remember it, surprisingly. That was the saddest point for me. Are you not so and so and so and so? No, I'm not. No! You look so much like her. That can be so stupid. I remember, not now, because they wouldn't do that to me now. Oh, they still toast me now, so don't be thinking they don't. Oh, they still toast me. I'm still very toastable, thank you. But not in those ways. You know, but in those days, I would get to hear, they'll first call you by one name and they expect you to answer. And then when you don't answer, they actually come and tap me. Are you not so? No, I'm not. No, but you just for me to, continue talking. And I actually hated that. So that for me was really funny. This guy knows you want to toast. You want to toast a babe. Toast a babe. Come out and say, hello, I like you. But I didn't get too many toasters because as at that time, because I used to have a strong face, baby. It's actually now. I get more toasters. Wasn't me doing the naughtiest things. The naughty things were not being done by me. They were being done by my twin brothers. I had twins who were born directly after me. And they used to do things to me. I don't think I had time to do the naughty things. They were the ones doing the naughty things to me. Imagine one person holding my hand, the other person using a knife for me. We want to see if it's sharp. And I would stand there. I don't know if they did juju to me or what. And I remember the worst one, or the naughtiest one, was because I could have said no. Until now, I wonder if I did it because I was looking for attention also or what. I don't know. In those days, they used to sell kerosene in white bottles, breakable bottles, White Horse, they call it, those White Horse whiskey bottles. And they would keep it outside the kitchen door. So there was this White Horse bottle outside the kitchen door. We passed it so many times. We were playing, we passed it. And then one of them said, we were thirsty, and in those days, you dare not go to the fridge and open it yourself. You open the fridge, you're in trouble. So we wanted to drink water, and we were always drinking water because we were always playing outside, always thirsty, And so they would say, don't go and, you want to spoil the fridge, you want this, you want that. So we now said, we are thirsty. The argument started between the twins. It's water, it's not water. It's water, it's water. Bring it, let me drink, Joe. I'll know whether it's water or not. And I drank. Before I realized it wasn't water, some had gotten down. I vomited. I was in the hospital for 2 or 3 days. They had to rinse out my stomach or whatever it was they did then. I think that was the naughtiest because I never tried anything that bad again. Never got into trouble as a kid. There was no need because the twins were getting into all the trouble. those who know. I'm sure they won't remember. Miss Piggy. Miss Piggy was my nickname. Because I used to always go like this, and I didn't care what anybody thought. I was always Miss Uppity kind of thing. And Miss Piggy we used to watch on Sesame Street was kind of like... I wanted to be famous. I wanted to be Diana Ross-like kind of famous. You know, I love to have all those big old white hair, wild, really wild, and you know, and just be out there for people to see. That's always what I've wanted. Would you be surprised to believe that now that I'm famous, I actually want to be kept aside? You know, I just want to be left alone, you know. But that time, I just kept saying, I will be a famous writer. I will be better than Dennis Robbins, Barbara Cartland. I will be the biggest writer. I will be called all over the world. I will be bigger than Diana Ross. And anytime I appear, everyone would clap for me because all my books would be in all the stores.